How's it going, New World? Sethphir here, and we are back once again on the PTR. I practically live here now. I'm in this bad boy 24/7, testing everything. And so today I am going to bring you the top 5 things that you must do before the patch comes to live. This is going to be important things that you're going to want to consider getting taken care of before the patch rolls out in about mid-December is when we're thinking it's going to come. Nothing super official, but I would guess somewhere around then, as everything needs to be ready before Christmas time anyway, since it's a Christmas themed kind of patch and event. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive in. We'll start with number 1 on my list for the most important thing that you need to do before the patch, and that is going to be leveling your professions so that you can get those aptitude skill levels coming up into the future. If you don't know what an aptitude skill level is, it's basically whenever you hit 200 in a given profession, you would then loop around another time with little bubbles, which would put you, each bubble little tick would give you a box allowing you to get gypsum and some goodies related to your profession inside of that box. So this is going to be something very important because that is going to be the new theme and the new system. If you haven't seen my gypsum guide and my trade skill aptitude guide, go ahead and check out both of those as they will be very important. I will put a link in the description down below for those. So getting all of your professions in line is going to be very important. I would highly recommend stone cutting. You need to have stone cutting up. 100% this should be the most important profession you have at 200 because you need to be able to create your own keys. You need to be able to create your own Lazarus tuning orb, which is something we'll talk about as well. You need to be able to create your own keys for dungeons and endgame content, and there's a lot of goodies from here in stone cutting that you pretty much need to have. Not to mention you can create your own gems, which go in every piece of armor, and everyone needs these, so it just kind of makes sense to get this profession up. I would then target the refining professions as they have daily cooldowns that will allow you to make a lot of good, expensive, and coveted trading materials that you could sell in the auction house or use to create best in slot items. So that would be smelting, woodworking, leatherworking, and weaving. Make sure you get all 4 of those up if you have not already. It's a nice goal to have. Once you have 200 of all of those, then you're on to your choice of pretty much anything that you would want, right? So if in this top category, this crafting one, I would recommend to just pick one and focus on it. For me, myself, I have chosen Arcana, and I focus on Arcana solely and entirely, so I get everything related to that. I wouldn't go super intense on all of these because, you know, you'll burn yourself out and no one wants to do that much work. But, you know, the baseline is pretty much this order. Stone cutting, for sure, most important. Then all the refining professions after that. And then your choice of one of any of these top ones up here. They're all very good. And each of them has some very nice things that you can make within the given profession. Okay, so that's going to be the first one. Moving on to the second most important thing you need to do before the patch. And that is going to be, back in stone cutting, creating your orb cooldowns, right? So Garden of Genesis, you can make 3 every week. You can make 1 Lazarus orb every week. So hopefully you have been making these already. If you have not, go ahead and start now because you can get a week or 2 in before this patch hits, hopefully, and you will have extra keys to run dungeons with, and you need to save each and every orb that you get. Do not use your Lazarus tuning orb right now. Do not use your Garden Genesis tuning orb right now. You also need to consider making the Sirens tuning orb, Monoecious, and Protector's tuning orb because they will be giving you new gypsum in the patch coming up here, which will be used to turn in for expertise bump boxes, which is going to be very, very good. You can make 5 of these purple tuning orbs every week for each type. It is quite a bit of a grind, but do keep in mind that you only need to do 7 arenas, or 1 arena per day, to hit that maximum gypsum cap. So really, if all of your friends, if you got a group of friends that you run together with, if you all make 1 orb, and then one guy makes an extra orb or 2, then you should be covered for the week, no problem. So make sure you get the stone cutting so you can actually create these things, and then make your orb cooldowns. Do not use any orbs that you own right now. It is a waste. When the new patch comes out, you will get far more expertise bumps, and you will also get the additional add-on of the gypsum, which will be coming from the dungeons and also the arena cache. So make sure you hang tight onto all those. All right, moving on to number 3, and that is going to be making your investments having a farm plan and a gypsum plan, right? So when we talk about a gypsum plan, there's a lot of different types of gypsum you can get. I have the full guide covering gypsum, so go ahead and check that one out. But essentially, you need to understand which gypsum you're going to go for. Are you going to go for all of them? Are you going to do everything in the game constantly? Maybe you're like me and you have, no life and you're just going to sit here and play this game. That might be true, but a lot of other people have things to do, so it's okay to just target a few of those things. You can do the outpost rush one if that's the one that you like to do. You like to do outpost rush, and that's something fun for you. Go for that. You can skip the trade skill one if you just can't be bothered to go out and mine things or farm things or create things, and that's just not your style of play. You could also go ahead and target or skip the dungeon one. It's up to you. So whatever that plan is, and you're going to know what that is best, right? Because you know how much time you have. Go ahead and plan accordingly. Start looking ahead and make a little checklist. Okay, I need to do this, this, and this in the day. That's what I want to get done with the amount of time I have. And kind of get that sorted out so you're not, running around like a chicken with your head cut off when the new patch comes out, like, oh, there's so much new stuff. What do I do? What do I do? And then you miss out on something, right? So you don't want to do that. So also come up with your farm plan. Like, are you going to do the new the new Malevolence area, the new Elite Zone level 66 plus? Are you going to do the Imperial Palace 66 plus Elite Zone? You need to think about those things. You got a guild that's going with you. Do you have a group that's going with you? Are you going to add in that along with Sirens and Mirrorguard as well? Are you going to drop one of those things? So start thinking along the lines of those. And the final thing on the planning phase is that investment planning phase. So I would say invest in the profession that you use a lot. So if you are a master furnisher and you do furnishing all day long, go ahead and invest in that before the patch. You'll thank yourself later because everybody will be scrambling literally to get a hold of all these materials and trophies and items. So pick one area and be like, okay, I'm investing in furnishing. I'm going to control oil. I'm going to get wood and all that stuff and the schematics and go from there. Or maybe you're a cook and you're going to invest in cooking ingredients and you're going to get all the good ingredients to make the rabbit food and the monstrous turkey legs, whatever it is that you want to do. Go ahead and invest in that area. All right, that's going to move us on to number 4. The fourth most important thing that you need to do before the patch is you're going to need to start scouting the new best in slot perks. Yes, there are new perks. Yes, they are better than the perks that are previously in the game. The entire best in slot list is going to be shift upside down. So what you thought was a perfect piece of gear before is no longer a perfect piece of gear before, because there are additional armor perks, there are additional weapon perks, there are additional harvesting tool perks. So go ahead and check all those out. There's tons of things ranging from healing reduction on your heavy attacks to 30% life leeching heavy attacks, more damage when you heavy attack. They're really trying to push heavy attacks in this game. So just a little pro tip there. Heavy attacks might be pretty good in the next patch. So go ahead and scout around for these things. You're going to have awesome armor perks like Physical Aversion, which is going to help you take reduced damage from archers and musket players. And man, they're hitting real hard right now, so that's definitely going to be really welcomed. So it's going to be an additional perk on your armor. So before, we would usually have a best in slot PvP armor being something like Resilient plus a perk. Well, now it's going to be Physical Aversion plus Resilient plus a perk. So there's going to be even better armor sets that you can gather as a maximum potential. So make sure to check that out and plan ahead accordingly. I also have a guide for that, so I'll just go ahead and link that in the description as well. And then you can check that out in full detail if you want to just learn about the new perks and what's going to be happening within the game coming forward. All right, this is going to bring us to our 5th and final tip, and that is going to be gathering your profession boosting gears. So what's going to happen is a lot of players are going to be scrambling to do professions because of the new trade skill aptitude system and the way the gypsum system is working. So what you want to do is go ahead and get gear that is going to boost your profession. So if I am a stonecutter, which everyone should be, you're going to want a full set of armor that increases your stone cutting output, because this is going to be very important. You're going to be producing more product and have extra chance. And yes, this does work on the corrupted fragments for the tuning orbs, so you can save yourself a lot of farm time from portals and create additional fragments to kind of cut down your portal timing farm in roughly in half, I would say, because you can proc multiple legendaries, you can proc multiple gems and all kinds of cool stuff. So make sure you get that in line. And the same goes if you're doing a gathering profession when the new patch comes out with the trade skill aptitude. Like, let's say I'm doing logging, I want to make sure I have a full set of logging trophies and I have a full set of logging gear, 5% luck, right? I want to walk into that patch ready to go so that every ironwood tree that I hit is going to be maximum value, along with giving me trade skill aptitude leveling, which will push me into those boxes, giving me the gypsum and giving me some good materials. So that's going to be something to look out for. And the same goes if you're armoring right now. Start getting your armoring trophies, start getting your armoring gear, because when that patch hits, everyone's going to realize that they want to do the trade skill aptitude because they want to get these high level recipes, the guaranteed 600 recipes coming from the armoring boxes, and they're gonna be like, oh man, I need this armoring gear, and they're gonna just start shelling out money for it, and that demand is gonna go up really high. And since the supply is gonna be roughly the same, you can imagine how it's going to go. That market's going to shoot way up. So, get it now before it gets up too high. Maybe it's already high. Maybe you want to wait. Maybe you want to farm it on your own. You got time. Remember, you got some time here. So if you want to go and farm these pieces on your own, you could use the New World Database website to look up exactly where those items drop and go farm it, right? Go get it. Go get that stuff if you don't want to pay the auction house prices. And I highly recommend that because a lot of them are not that hard to get. I mean, I think people buy a lot of stuff on the auction house based on pure laziness, right? So these are going to be my top 5 tips. So in summary, from 1 to 5, the first one is going to be leveling up your professions to make sure that you have everything ready to go for the trade skill aptitude system, which is coming up. So make sure you get that stone cutting for sure, and get your refining professions so that you can start getting those 24-hour cooldown items like Asmodium and runic leather and all that good stuff that makes a lot of money. Number 2 is going to be save your orbs and arena keys and making sure you're hitting your orb and arena key cooldowns for the dungeons and arenas. That's going to be very important. Save them. Don't use them until the patch. Then third one is going to be make your investments, make your investment plan, make your farming plan, make your gypsum plan, discover all those systems, and plan ahead. Make sure you got a good idea of what you want to do on a daily or a weekly basis within New World. Then number 4 is going to be scouting out your best in slot perks. So identify what the new perks are, what you want to shoot for on your armor, so you know what to look for when you find gear, and you also know what to look for when you're scouting the auction house, or if you're looking to create a piece of gear, you can you can tell and see what all the options are out there, so you know what you want to target, right? That's going to be very important. And then number 5 is just that gathering your profession boosting gears and your trophies. Make sure you're getting all of that in line so that you're ready to go when the patch comes out and you get maximum value out of whatever it is that you choose to do. All right, thanks for your time and watching this video, everyone. Make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell down below. We also have a join button if you're interested in becoming a member. We have polls and some other little goodies that I'm probably going to be adding some extra stuff to here in the future. Make sure to also check out the Discord link. We will have that in the description, along with all the videos we talked about in this video down below. And I think that's pretty much it. It's going to wrap it up here. Thanks for watching once again, and we will catch you in the next video, everyone.